Welcome friends. Now we are entering into the second week of this course, and in the first week we discussed what is the corporate level strategy, what is the business level strategy, and what is the functional level strategy. And in the functional level strategy we discussed that all functional level strategies need to come together so that you can see the dominance of functional level strategies at the corporate level strategies. And obviously our focus was mainly on the manufacturing strategy, that how manufacturing strategy can provide important competitive advantage to the organization. Moving further, in this session we are going to coin a new term which is world class manufacturing organizations. World class manufacturing and manufacturing strategy are very closely related. Therefore, in the beginning of this course itself, it is important to introduce this term world class manufacturing. In earlier 5 sessions, we never used this term world class manufacturing. We only concentrated on the term manufacturing strategy. This is the first time we are going to use this world class manufacturing term. Now, the objective of manufacturing strategy is to get the world class manufacturing status. Now, this world class manufacturing term was used for the first time by 2 very important researchers who contributed heavily in the field of manufacturing strategy. Their names are Hayes and Wheelwright. In one of their paper written in 1984, 2 very important papers are available from Hayes and Wheelwright. One was published in 1979 and the second was published in 1984. So, in this paper of 1984, Hayes and Wheelwright gave this term world class manufacturing, which is also known as WCM. So, again and again we will call this by the name of world class manufacturing or WCM. Now, this WCM is a set of practices. It is a set of practices, and which type of practices? The best practices. So, this is basically the adoption of best practices for your organization, which will lead to superior performance. So, world class means best in class. This is best in class. Now, how you will be best in class? By adopting best practices. If you go deeper into it, you can also relate it to the idea of scientific management, where Taylor, who is known as father of scientific management, so Taylor advocated that there is one best way of doing a particular activity. If you want to get best output, you need to do that activity with that best way. Now, same idea is available for world class manufacturing, where we say that if you want to have superior performance, or you put in another words best in class performance, so you need to adopt best practices, and best practices will give you best in class results. So, this is basically a mindset. WCM is basically a concept. Now, the concept is based on the idea of continuous improvement. If I am doing continuous improvement, if I am doing regular improvement, so we will discuss in our coming slides that the idea of Kaizen, which is continuous improvement, gradual improvement, these are the important elements for achieving the world class manufacturing status. The world class manufacturing WCM can also be equated to total productive maintenance. So, TPM is a concept which takes care of a variety of operation management issues. On one side, it takes care of your maintenance activities, on another side it takes care of your quality, another side it takes care of your availability. So, multiple issues are put together in a single philosophy, and that is known as total productive maintenance. Now, total productive maintenance and world class manufacturing are almost similar. There are different ways to explain the concept, but when you see that if you are implementing TPM in your organization, you are actually going to achieve the world class manufacturing organization status. So, TPM is the foundation of world class manufacturing, and we know that in our operation management classes we study the objective of TPM is to improve productivity, because it talks of total productivity by making process more reliable and less wasteful. So, TPM has three important things, that you have to have high productivity, then you need to have high reliability, then you also need to have, or you also need to focus on reducing waste. So, these three things are basically three dimensions of TPM, and that TPM, if you are able to achieve in your organization, achieve means you cannot go that yes, now today I am a TPM organization. There are different degrees of TPM. So, if this is an spectrum of TPM and you start your journey from this point, you will slowly and slowly reach up to the top, and when you reach at the top, you become a world class manufacturing organization. So, you may start TPM level 1, TPM level 2, and then finally you may become a world class manufacturing organization. So, to achieve your world class manufacturing status, TPM is a very important handy tool. So, if you go into the detailed literature of TPM, which is available from Japan Institute of Plant Maintenance, so JIPM is the originator of this concept of TPM. So, if you go to the website of JIPM, you will find lot of literature available in the area of TPM. Otherwise also there are dedicated books available on total productive maintenance, and if we go in this course further, many of the issues which are available in TPM we will discuss under the name of world class manufacturing. Now, the focus of world class manufacturing, as we discussed, the foundation of world class manufacturing is TPM. So, the focus of world class manufacturing is taken from the idea of TPM only. Since TPM stands for total productive maintenance, so the first point is about zero breakdowns. When it is a maintenance activity which is going to give you the world class status, so your plants should have zero breakdowns. Zero breakdown plants will help you in achieving the best possible delivery schedules. QCD is one very important, you can say, definition of operation executive: quality, cost and delivery performance. And if you have zero breakdown, you will have very high level of delivery performance. So, zero breakdown is one very important aspect of world class manufacturing organizations. So, you will see with the help of data in our coming sessions that some of the world class organizations are having very low level of breakdowns. Then zero defect. The zero defect represents your quality. Your quality is of excellent level, that is zero defect. So, another important element of world class manufacturing, the focus of world class manufacturing on one side is to have the very high availability of the plant. Then second is quality, very high level of quality, and third is zero accidents. The accident is not only on the point of view of some personnel, some labor, some technician getting injured, but accidents are possible with variety of other issues. Your queue is there and waiting time is more, your machine is not operating at the optimum RPM, that is also a type of accident. So, there are different types of accidents which are possible in the manufacturing shop, and we need to minimize, we need to eliminate all those accidents. So, reliability, quality and waste, all these things we need to go for the highest level. You need to have highest reliability or zero breakdown, you need to have highest level of quality or zero level of defects, and you need to have no waste in your organization, or you can say zero accident. So, all accidents actually create waste. So, you need to see that how to minimize this waste generation, how to eliminate the waste generation from your manufacturing setup. So, these are the three important focus area for TPM or for world class manufacturing. Now, as I said that Japan Institute of Plant Maintenance started this concept of world class manufacturing, and to recognize the efforts of organizations in the field of world class manufacturing or to become the best in class players, they have started a world class player award since 2015. So, this is the most you can say important recognition for an organization that you have achieved the world class excellence award for your manufacturing efforts or for your efforts in improving your manufacturing capacities in the organization. Many Indian organizations are also doing tremendously well, and we will see with the help of one graph that how our Indian organizations are doing excellent in the field of these awards instituted by Japan Institute of Plant Maintenance. Now, the key issues we discussed in the previous slide, that the focus of world class manufacturing is on zero breakdown, zero defect and zero accident. Now, for achieving these things, one of the fundamental strategy which is being adopted by almost all the world class manufacturing organization is the strategy of innovation and Kaizen. Innovation and Kaizen, these are two words which are you can say similar in one sense, they have some commonality, but there are some differences also. So, world class players use both these concepts of innovation and Kaizen to the advantage of their objectives. Now, innovations we know are the big jumps, big investments, top down approach, all these are the characteristics of innovation. Kaizen we know is the gradual continuous improvement. So, sometime we go, you can say in this fashion, that sometime we go for the innovation where we move from this position to this position, and then we go for Kaizen. So, where Kaizen is required, we do the gradual improvement, where we need to change our platform from A to B, then at that time we apply the concept of innovation. So, we use innovation and Kaizen in tandem, using both these concepts in a sequence like this ladder I have shown. We move from this position to this position. So, if you only follow Kaizen, you move into the horizontal direction. You only follow the innovation, you move in a vertical direction. So, we take in the world class organizations a mix of Kaizen and innovation, and therefore, the world class organization achieve this position, which is a better one than the simple Kaizen or simple innovation. So, you do routine improvements, gradual improvements, continuous improvement, and at the same time to cope up with the needs of the market, with the needs of your other functional areas, you apply the concept of innovation also. Then the other important, you can say, characterization of this world class manufacturing organizations are possible with the help of this table. In this table you see that there are two columns, one has the heading of 0 and another has the heading of 100%. Now, there are few things where we like to have 0 as our benchmark, and there are few things for which we want to have 100 as our benchmark, or to be more precise 100% to be our benchmark. Now, we want in a world class manufacturing organization 0 accidents, 0 breakdowns, 0 defects and 0 scrap. So, all these things are the 0, and 100% is voice of customers is heard to the last level in the organization. So, 100% voice of customers is given due recognition at the highest level of the organization. So, you on one side provide these zeros, and on the other side you are giving empowerment to your customers. So, these two things go simultaneously. You are empowering customers and at the same time you are providing highest operational objectives, and you know how to handle these trade-offs. So, that is one very important aspect of world class manufacturing. You take care zeros and you take care of 100%. So, if you see this spectrum of world class manufacturing, so there are few things which are sitting on this 0 side and there are some things which are sitting on the 100% side. But many of the organizations are somewhere here, somewhere here, somewhere here, where neither they are able to achieve 0 breakdowns, 0 defects or 0 scrap, etc., and nor they are able to take care of 100% voices of their customers. So, you are in most of the cases will find that organizations are not on those extremes, organizations are sitting at somewhere central locations. So, there is a large amount of scope of improvement in the organizations, because you have to simultaneously achieve your positions at 2 points in this spectrum. When I am talking of breakdowns on this spectrum, you have to be on the extreme life. When you talk of empowered customers, you have to be on the extreme right. So, there are different types of variables. For some variables you have to be on extreme left, and for some variables you have to be on extreme right if you are a world class manufacturing organization. So, these things are there. You have to have continuous improvement through loss eradication. As we are having the empowered customers, so similarly there are external customers, there are internal customers. So, we need to have this kind of environment in my organization where people are driving force of change. So, all the changes are driven by the people. So, that is another beauty of world class manufacturing organizations. So, you do not have problems like resistance to change, because everything is driven by the force of people. So, they are your impeller for any kind of changes which are happening in your organization. So, we discussed that no type of waste, motivating environment, all faults are visible, and everything, all these things are there which we try to do, which we try to incorporate in our world class organizations. Now, when we see this world class manufacturing organizations into detail, so what world class manufacturing organizations do? So, these WCM aims to add value to business. Obviously, value addition is a very important concept, and they want to become a zero loss organization. So, if you see that we have discussed about 5 to 6 slides, and in all these slides I am continuously focusing on one particular word, that is minimum losses. So, this loss may be of material, this loss may be of capital, this loss may be of machines, this loss may be of personnel. So, it is not simply the losses because of poor quality, this is losses because of some failures. There are different types of losses. So, you have to become a total zero loss organization. So, which include the minimize the losses related to personals, minimize the losses related to material, minimize the losses related to technology, machines. So, all these you have to minimize, and for doing that you need to have very active involvement of 3 important entities of your organization. One is people, the second is process, and the third is organization. So, you need to see that how people, process, organization can come together to become the change agent for becoming a zero loss organization. So, that is the idea of this discussion of world class manufacturing focus. Now, the literature also suggests a very interesting infinity loop to define the world class manufacturing. Now, there are 3 important stages, and you will see with the help of this infinity loop, where you see that you have 2 circles. This is stage number 1, where I am observing, where I am identifying some losses. So, I have identified the losses, and now I am entering into the second circle, and this is the eradication losses. So, I need to see the losses, I need to identify the loss, yes, this loss is happening at this particular stage, and then I design the entire eradication loss cycle. It can be a simply PDCA cycle also, plan, do, check, act. So, it can be a simply PDCA cycle, where I am removing the losses, when I am removing the losses from my organization. So, this whole effort you see is in the direction of eliminating those losses, and once I eliminate the loss, I again enter in the first circle, and then I want to maintain this condition. So, first I am identifying the losses. Once I have identified the loss, then a new circle starts operating, that is the removal of those losses, maybe using the concept of PDCA, and once I have removed the losses, then again I come back to my previous circle, and now I want to sustain, I want to maintain that condition that these losses do not come again into my organization, and then again I will identify some new losses, and the process will go on. So, therefore, this is known as infinity loop, that this first cycle and second cycle will continuously keep going. Every time I will identify a new loss, a new problem area, and that will be communicated to the second cycle, and that second cycle will do something to remove those losses, and then once the losses are removed, again this problem will come to the first cycle, and now the issue is to sustain that condition, to sustain that design, so that these losses do not come again into your manufacturing process. So, that is very interesting WCM infinity loop. The literature means particularly the literature of JIPM, Japan Institute of Plant Maintenance, says that or to implement TPM or world class manufacturing, you need to have these 11 pillars in your organizations. These 11 pillars are the foundation block of world class manufacturing organization. So, these are like autonomous maintenance, plant maintenance, quality maintenance. So, you see that first three are related to maintenance, maintenance and maintenance. Then it focuses on early adoption, because you are world class, you are the flag bearer. So, you have to be always in a leadership position. Toyota started the concept of Toyota production system. Toyota started the concept of lean management. So, that is the early management, and then rest of the organizations started following what Toyota did. So, many such things happen with the world class manufacturing organizations, that they start the early management of some of these things. Education and training, because you have to sustain the new systems. If I go back to my discussions of infinity loop, so you need training, education, that how to identify the losses, how to develop a PDCA cycle, how to sustain that condition. So, all these things are possible when you are specifically trained, you are provided education in that relevant area. Then your office system, because a lot of things need automation, your office needs a proper automated systems, and office becomes a very important enabler to achieve the status of world class manufacturing. The supply chain system, whether you want to have efficient supply chains or you want to have responsive supply chains. Then the cost, how much cost is coming, because one of the objective of this world class manufacturing is to provide the best quality at the minimum possible cost. So, cost is also becoming a very important issue. The focused improvement, so you need to have a very strategic idea of Kaizen, that how you are doing the focused improvement in a particular area. So, you cannot be random in the improvement activities, rather you have to be very structured innovator in the organization. Safety and health are related to social sustainability. World class organizations provide excellent social sustainability to its employees, to its neighborhood, and that is probably one of the reason of their being the world class organizations. And the environment, you also need to take care of this physical environment, the natural environment. So, unless until you take care of these environment, you will not be able to survive for long. So, that is also an important area. So, during our further discussions, we will be deliberating on these pillars of world class manufacturing separately in their respective sessions, but this gives you a bird eye view about the various foundations, various blocks which make finally an organization as world class manufacturing organization. Now, finally, when we are coming to almost end of this session, I want to give you the figures that over the years Indian organizations are doing pretty well in this concept of world class manufacturing. Around 266 companies have bagged 367 prizes in the field of total productive maintenance. So, which is part of world class manufacturing only. Though the world class awards are yet to come, but there are different categories of TPM awards, category A, category B, then sustenance of those TPM awards. So, there are different types of categories. So, in different categories 266 Indian companies have won 367 prizes. So, and this data is accumulated over the years. So, in 2003 you got only 39 awards, and now in 2017 this tally has reached to 367. So, you can see that every year, though number may change from one year to another year, like in case of from 2008 to 2009 only 9 Indian companies could get the TPM awards, but some other time like from 2016 to 2017 around 43 organizations got the TPM awards. So, different numbers are there from one period to another period, but this journey is continuing, and I am hopeful that in coming times more TPM excellence awards or the world class player award which started in year 2015 come to India also from JIPM. So, with this we close this session. Thank you very much.